Hi, this is Linda Murin. I'm your instructor for this managerial accounting online course. I'm going to help you navigate through the course site. Of course, I'm already in the Blackboard site, so hopefully you've logged in as your student ID and gotten into the site and clicked on our course site. You'll see a Happy New Year and welcome to Managerial Accounting. This is my just hello and intro to the course site. Hopefully you're in the right course. If you're in multiple, you'd know instantly, oops, I'm in the wrong one. I do have a picture icon as a banner for the course to tell you that this is Managerial Accounting. This is the textbook that we will be using, and though it's faint, it's the 15th edition of the Garrison, Brewer, and Noreen textbook. I am going to navigate to the Start Here button. And right now I cannot see any flash. I am actually using Firefox to get into this site. What I'm going to do is enable by coming to the upper left hand corner of my screen and picking the shield button, and I'm going to allow it to show my flash video by disabling the protection on it. Notice that it bounced me back to my announcements page, but once I do that, it's set for the rest of the session, but you might have to do it multiple times. So I tried to indicate that here with this little icon. So this would be in your browser bar, and you pick the shield. You can probably see over to the right that I have a Voki there. Does that look like me? Oh, I wish it did. It looks like a younger version of me, but it doesn't really matter. It does have a play button, and usually in that Voki, I'll give you an introduction as to what the chapter or lesson is about. In this case, I'm just welcoming you to the site, telling you about the Start Here button, and telling you, more importantly, that I do have a Tuesday evening online session from 7:30 until 9 o'clock. And to get there, you're going to go over to the menu bar over on the left-hand side, and you're going to select the Tuesday online session button, and that will take you to the online site. We're going to probably go there later this evening. Is it online? And what happens is that it comes in and it takes you to an Adobe Connect site. For you, you're going to enter as a guest. You just need to write your first name, maybe last initial in case there's two Rebeccas or something like that in the classroom. For me, I'm going to have to log in with my username and ID because I am the instructor and I need to monitor and manage that session. So once you get to the site, what you're going to see is that it actually ends up being like a chat room, and we can talk, and I can use visually the screen that's in front of you like a webcam to talk about the lesson materials. You can see that I was online yesterday for a different class, but then I wrote on here that Tuesday is for my managerial and cost students. In the logon, it's going to give you some introductions on how to use the software. So for your first time through, it'd be kind of good to go through this. I'm going to pass on that right now. You see the virtual classroom layout, and then it basically telling you that down in the chat box, you just type in your hello, and then participate whenever you can. I realize that our schedules don't always sync. You may have other classes, you may have work at night, but I'm keeping this out here as my forum to help you. I will record sessions and post them to Blackboard, so if you're not able to be online at the same time as us, at least you can go back and refer to the recording. For now, I'm going to manage to get out of this site and go back to my Blackboard site because I do want to teach you how to navigate through my site. If you're new to e-learning, there is a link which will help give you some training so that you know how to use the tools in Blackboard, and especially in a web-based course. I do have navigation instructions in a PDF format, and those are basically explaining all the buttons that you see over on the left-hand side and what you can find under them. Okay. For now, I'm not going to open it. I don't want to go into too much detail. Your syllabus is right just underneath the navigation button. When you click on a document, it will open or download depending on your computer. And then you have the ability to print or to review. And of course, because everything's electronic, maybe perhaps you won't have to print as much. Right? You can scale through the whole document. It tells you what the requirements are, what the core curriculum is. It lists what your textbook is, approximately what the bookstore cost is, and different methods, okay, or different things that you are required to have for the course. In addition to the book, you do need Connect, McGraw-Hill product access, and it will be useful if you have a TI-83, 84, or a Business Analyst 2 calculator for this class. Now, we won't use this portion of it, the financial calculator, until the last chapter. Okay, my points and all that kind of stuff is specified in the syllabus. So please definitely take a look at what's out there from the standpoint of points. I am going to give you 4 chapter exams, and then there's an additional final. I'm breaking it up into multiple so that you can get a better grasp of the concepts and you can evaluate your learning. And then you can also modify or adjust what you're learning or get correction or help or tutoring from the standpoint of if you had some weaknesses in your first or second exams. Okay, so again, easy to get to. Hopefully you understand that. This is a navigation video about my site. I am going to post this link today to that site. The syllabus and navigation review, I actually put a quiz in there because I wanted to make sure that you will take the time to look over the course site so you're familiar with what's out there. All right, and then the course outline and the calendar. Essentially, there is a calendar button, and you can choose to use it to mark all your assignments and all of your courses. Our accessibility policy for the college and contact information and phone numbers. All right, and then McGraw-Hill also has an accessibility statement related to their content, and that is posted here as well. And towards the end of this, I'm putting in a netiquette statement to tell you to be nice to your fellow associates in the classroom and some other technical details, which hopefully you can follow. All right, so those are kind of like the basic outline of the course. So in order to get started in your class, what you're going to need to do is your content is basically organized under the Lessons button. And as I open the lessons, you're going to see across the top that you're going to have a breadcrumb trail where you could go backwards to stuff too. In the instructor view, I'm able to minimize my window so that I don't have a lot of content that I have to look at if I've already finished that content. So I'm basically telling you that I'm going to try and be very consistent in my format. You will always see what the lesson objectives are before you actually have to do the assignments. The assignments are going to be listed in each of the course folders so you know exactly what you need to do during that lesson or that chapter, in other words. All right, and then the different types of assessments that are included in there. Okay, I've given you information about my online class time and a link to that site in the folder. And of special interest, and hopefully you'll use it, are the PowerPoints or supplemental Excel worksheets that I incorporate into every chapter. Those will be useful to you in reducing the amount of time you need to spend on homework. Okay, a short video clip on how to use McGraw-Hill SmartBook or LearnSmart, and I'll go over that with you again as just very briefly in this navigation feature. So let me take you to lesson number 1. The first thing that you're going to do is look at my objectives. So we need to understand the difference between financial and managerial, what job skills are necessary to be successful as a management accountant, and then to understand ethical framework and the corporate social responsibilities. All right. Your assignments are going to be all bundled in the assignment folder. Trying to keep it simple. Tell me about yourself. That's the first thing. We want to know who the students in our class are, and we want you to get to know each other. Corporate social responsibility. I'm going to have you do a small research project, very, very small. I just need you to understand what corporate social responsibility is, and I want you to look up a company and tell me what you learned about that company. All right. Then here's information about getting started with McGraw-Hill's Connect. This is an important tool. You will do all your homework, your quizzing, your practice, and your exams through the McGraw-Hill Connect software. So therefore, it is an important access card that you're going to need to buy. You'll click on any of the lesson introductions, the chapter SmartBook. That's what this stands for, LearnSmart SmartBook. And in this particular chapter, there's not a homework or a quiz. So I'm not going to have to worry about that. But by clicking on the link, it will take you to the McGraw-Hill site. Now for me as the instructor, it took me right to my management of the site. Yours will look a little bit different because you are a student. So what I want to do is actually I want to preview this as a student like you would see it. And notice that it says Smart Book. And my preference is that the Smart Book version of Learn Smart is much more beneficial to you. And I'll explain why as soon as it loads. So be patient with it. You may have to allow because it does use Flash. Might cause some difficulty for those people that have an iMac or a Mac or an iMac. It's supposed to load. Perhaps I didn't click it hard enough. So it is loading at this present time. Okay, and the module that I'm in is it jumped to practice because practice is actually the last place I was when I was demonstrating this for my on-campus class, but I want to show you a couple other features. A preview gives you a breakout into sections about what the chapter is about. For instance, an overview, what is managerial accounting, what careers, so you can go through the chapter. Here's governance and social responsibility. So if you needed to look something up, it kind of breaks it off into sections. You do have an ebook with this, and so the ebook here gives you the opportunity to read, and then you could move through the pages, and it says to hit your shift and page down key in order to move down through it, and I think I did something I didn't quite want to do. I think there's a scroll bar there, and I think it's kind of like off my screen a little bit on the right hand side. So you can read, you can highlight materials, you can save some of that material that you're highlighting. What I want to do is show you what the practice assignments are because that's where you accumulate points for the Learn Smart lessons, right? And essentially you're going to have to read what the section is about and answer questions. If you have no idea what happens, these are like flashcard based questions, it goes to the back of the deck and then you have to, go look about, you're going to have to answer again. But if you pick no idea, it tells you the answer. And hopefully what you're going to do at this point is you're going to say, oh, it's going to go to the back of the deck. I better remember it for the next time. Okay, if there was something that I didn't know the answer for, I can guess. I think so. The leadership component of blank includes specifying how to achieve established goals. I'm not sure what they're looking for, so I click the read about this and it takes me to that particular point. So they must be talking about the leadership component of planning includes specifying how to achieve established goals, or controlling, or is it decision making? Okay, so planning involves establishing goals and specifying how to achieve them. So of course I'm going to try that and put in planning, and then I'm going to say I know it, and it said I was right. Right, so this is essentially, as soon as I hit OK, it'll take me to the next question. And again, this is my procedure for the Smart Book. Once I finish, I want to go back to Connect, and I don't have to finish in one section. I could possibly, break it up into multiple. A little bit more information about how to use Connect and Smart Book is on the video, a separate video. Spend a little bit more time on it. This is my home page for my section. It has me, the Green Witch, on here, and then a picture of our textbook, and then information about the different items. When you're doing an assignment, it takes you directly to the assignment, but mine are in folders. So basically within lesson number 1, you have 2 assignments. If I look at lesson number 2, I see a lot more assignments. I see some practice assignments. I see Learn Smart assignments. Okay, and notice that I have an exam coming up right after chapter 2. All right, I only have another minute left to talk to you about navigating through my site. So I want to go back to Blackboard. All right, and basically that's kind of the essentially what you're going to do. In this very first lesson, I do want you to accomplish 2 chapters of material, and I actually put the Learn Smart for chapter 2 in here. Even though I'm another week out, I'm giving you a little bit of time, but chapter 2 is intense, and therefore I wanted you to get a head start on it. Okay? Again, if I want to navigate back to what's next, I can go look in the lessons to see what else I have. Okay, it should take me back, either backwards through the breadcrumb trail. All right, an overview of all the things. Supplemental items it's best to look at the supplemental when you're in Chapter 2 because I have a whole lot more content. Here's the PowerPoint.